You're watching the March edition of the East Baton Rouge Parish Library Roadshow. Everything you need to know about your local library system. And joining me now is Pabby Arnold, the library's coordinator for children's services. Welcome, Pabby.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
All right, and I'm loving the red hat.
Hey, it's me.
Now, you know, Pabby, you and I often talk about children's books and how important it is to keep reading aloud.
Yes.
So tell us about this special Read Across America campaign.
Well, that's a national program. It's specifically on the birthday of Theodore Geisel, who was Dr. Seuss.
Hence the red hat.
The red hat.
That's
yes,
right.
Cat in the Hat. And all around the country, people read books. It's called Read Across the Country.
It's just that simple.
Yes, Read Across America. That's it. And what we're doing is we don't necessarily have it that day because it depends on staffing and where they can get kids in and all. But about half of our branches, at least half, are having different programs in celebration. You'll find this going on at schools all across the country, libraries all across the country. It's just a wonderful time to read. And many of the books being read, of course, are Dr. Seuss books.
That's right, because we love our Dr. Seuss.
Yes.
So what's the library actually doing this month to celebrate?
We have a number of programs, and they vary by branch.
Okay.
So the best thing to do is to get online, if you're online, and go to ebrpl.com, kids, and you'll see branch libraries, branch calendars, and you'll see both the February and the March calendars for every branch. Click on your local branches and see if or what they're having for that thing. Some of the branches are having a specific story time where they're reading some of the things. Others are having a program where they might be playing games. A couple of the branches are even doing Go Fish with our fishing that we use at our parties.
That's
because
right.
of red fish, blue fish.
Right.
And others
green
are
eggs?
Yes, green eggs. And they have all kinds of games and things. You just have to call your branch and find out what's going on. We have a number of programs.
That's right. So you go to the website and then you pick the special kids page.
Kids across the top, kids, and then you'll see branch calendars. Click on that. There's always 2 months of calendars up for every branch of what's going to the children's room, the current month and the coming month.
So that way you can kind of plan.
Exactly.
Now, I do know there are parents who bring their kid to every single event.
Oh, yes.
They go from branch to branch to branch, and that's perfectly okay.
fine.
That's right.
Take advantage of it.
It's all free.
Exactly.
That's right. Now, here's the important question. Why do we have to actually set aside a week for this? Shouldn't we be doing this all the time?
Of course we did, but if we were all doing it, then we wouldn't have to have these.
That's
but
right.
We're not. It is so important to read with children, and it's got to start in the homes. Because we know that a child who can read usually does not wind up in prisons.
That's right.
Prisons aren't full of intellectuals.
Well, and do you have to wait until the child's old enough to read to them?
No, they should start at birth reading to children. Come to the library. We'll show you some developmentally appropriate books, but it's important to just read to them. If you want to read other things, you want to read War and Peace to your child, they sit still for it, go for it.
Read the cereal box.
Cereal boxes are wonderful.
That's right.
We all grew up with that.
I read it every day. All right, now, what's your favorite Dr. Seuss book? Because I know what mine is.
I think it probably is The Cat in the Hat because it's just an old favorite.
He's such a scoundrel.
Exactly. There's something about him always getting into trouble, but he's good-hearted about it.
Okay.
It's
so
not mean or anything.
No
now, a lot of
malicious.
people like some of the newer ones like Lorax because he talks about keeping care of the environment and all. We should all remember that. And that's the thing with many of Dr. Seuss's books, especially as we went on, that a number of them had addressed issues.
That's right.
But in a fun way.
That's right.
A very fun way. And of course, he began all these books because somebody challenged him to write a book using only a certain number of words, and he did it.
He did it. It was like a puzzle.
Yes.
And it worked out well for all across America.
Exactly.
Well, my favorite's green eggs and ham.
Oh.
And I know that there are many times where we actually serve green eggs and ham, and we do hammy events, and we certainly ham it up at the library.
We always ham it up at the library.
All right. Well, Pabby, what else would you want to leave us with today? Reading is fun?
Reading is fun, and that you should share books, and even for parents who may not have a good grasp of reading themselves. Picture books are called picture books for a reason.
And we even have wordless
Make
books.
up the story as you go along. By the time the child knows you're not reading it to them, it's time for the child to start reading with you.
That's right. There's no rules. Just do it.
Share the books.
That's right. So, okay. Well, thank you so much, Pabby, for joining
You're
us.
welcome.
And we invite you to read across America and really celebrate the fact that reading is fun. Coming up next, artist Bill Geist.